Alrighty, so on today's Nostalgic Rewind, I'm excited to talk about a classic that holds a special place in my heart, which is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. And before diving into the details, I want to admit my bias for this game, because I grew up a huge Assassin's Creed fan. And after being let down basically by some of the more recent titles, I'd say after Syndicate, it's very refreshing to talk about Black Flag. And while I've never particularly been into pirate culture, I do enjoy the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I think those are some of the best, at least the first three best, I'd just say fantasy adventure movies, but pirate themed movies. And the idea of exploring a different theme within the franchise intrigued me after we had basically just gotten back-to-back games featuring Ezio, which is not a problem, but it was nice for something new. And when I saw the development team tease ship battles and the chance to captain my own vessel, it definitely got me excited. I had pre-ordered the game immediately, attended the midnight release, and dove in for hours before heading to school the same day, which those are some devious moments. Which I also don't want to go off on a tangent, but I do miss midnight releases. I think they were a special part of video games, and it's unfortunate that they are no longer here. To this day, Black Flag is the only Assassin's Creed game that I replay every year. But let me get into the game itself. Released in 2013, so basically the anniversary was last year, because now we're going into 2025, so it'll be 12 years next year. Black Flag is set decades before Assassin's Creed 3 and follows Edward Kenway, the grandfather of Connor Kenway and father of Haytham Kenway. And what makes this game stand out is that Edward starts as an ordinary man, driven by the desire for plunder to support his family, and by happen chance, he becomes embroiled in the Assassin Templar conflict. Outside of the Animus, you play as just an unnamed Abstergo employee who starts uncovering the quote-unquote secret agenda of Abstergo. The two storylines actually do connect by the end. The Abstergo storyline gameplay is also really, really simple, where you're basically just wandering around and hacking computers with your little iPad. Unfortunately, this series never follows up on the very large hinted villain, although I think they kind of just brush it off with a comic book, which is upsetting because even in the Ezio games, they were setting up this all-time bad guy that would, come back to Earth, and then they just completely do a 180 and get rid of that storyline that had been building for many, many games. But on to more of the characters. Edward's journey from an anti-hero to a master assassin is fascinating. The story is rich with emotional moments and explores themes like parenthood, racism, community, and the search for belonging, which big on all of those, not one feels left out. Elements that have gradually diminished in the series over time. You get to see Edward grow as a character after many trials and key turning moments, which there are a lot of. I can thank Ubisoft, which sounds weird now, but for not just creating another Ezio. Ezio makes sense to be a teenager, being brash, naive, and over 3 games you get to see him grow throughout his entire life. Edward is a grown man who has a wife and child and struggles between an ordinary life or a more exciting life to provide for his family. But by doing so, creates rifts with his family, and only at the end does he realize the importance of being there for his family and friends. A pivotal character in Edward's journey is Adewale, Edward's ally who serves as the moral compass, guiding him towards a better path. Their relationship faces numerous challenges, enhancing the narrative's depth. The game also features historical figures like Blackbeard, who plays a significant role throughout the story. I can also thank Ubisoft, which sounds weird in today's time, for not holding back and showing some real factors in the game that focuses on racism and even classism. Adewale and Edward discuss how white sailors would not allow a black man to be captain, so he becomes Edward's right-hand man, and that is just one example. Now, onto the gameplay. A key aspect of Black Flag is the Jackdaw, which is Edward's ship, the ship that you pilot. Unlike previous entries that had standalone naval missions, this game integrates ship mechanics into the core gameplay itself. Players can sail, plunder, upgrade the Jackdaw, making it essential for exploration and combat. The experience of sailing the seas and engaging in ship battles remains unparalleled, even over a decade later, which, again, show me another pirate-themed game, anything that has better naval combat than this. Not even Skull and Bones, Ubisoft's own new game, could compare. Upgrading the Jackdaw is key to ensuring you can proceed in the story and complete the challenge of plundering high-ranking enemy ships, which those are going to be some of the hardest enemies in the game, and you have to prepare a whole lot in advance. On the Jackdaw, you can also look for more high-value aquatic animals to hunt, look for shipwrecks to loot, for very important blueprints, which you will need to then go fight those high-ranking enemy ships. The gameplay itself builds upon Assassin's Creed 3, featuring familiar mechanics like countering attacks, instant kills, and dodging. The addition of dual-wielding swords and unique gun swords enhances combat variety to a degree. Thankfully, the frustrating bounty hunter system from Assassin's Creed 3 was streamlined, making encounters less tedious and long. The bounty hunter system is focused more for naval combat, where you'll be chased by bounty ships until you lower your wanted level. This can be done by rendering a ship to almost nothing, then choosing the option to lower your wanted level instead of repairing your ship. The expansive Caribbean map offers diverse challenges, from hunting sea animals such as sharks and whales to battling more formidable ships like man-o'-wars. There's even a side game where the ships you've collected can be sent on missions to bring back rewards for you. The gameplay is very simple, where you watch the two ships attack each other. It's 2D, and if you have fire barrels in your inventory, it can help winning the battle. With all of this side content, you're ensured plenty of engaging content that can easily lead to hours of exploration outside of the main campaign. And for me, while playing the story and on the side content, I easily got 50 hours, I would say. The story is incredibly well paced. There never felt a moment of dragging in the story or anything missing or filler. You start immediately on a ship battle and you're thrown into the story. And since then, you're firing on all pistons. But I just wanted to end it by saying, me personally, I highly recommend Assassin's Creed 4. And there's even a DLC where you play as Adewale about 10 years after the story, and you get to actually try out the new weapon, which is the blunderbuss. And I'm playing on PC, and the graphics still look amazing. The gameplay might feel a little stale and old for some people, but it's such an immersive Assassin's Creed / pirate game that I strongly recommend you go play. And it's always on sale. I'm not sure if it's always on sale on consoles, but it's always on sale on PC. So go check it out. I've been meaning to make this video for a while. It was real fun to replay the game to capture this footage. But that is going to be it for me. I'm out.